Alrighty, what's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Season 4, Episode 46 of Hit the Books, the podcast all about sports betting, the best bets you should be taking, everything surrounding sports. This week, we got our positional rankings in the NFL as well as some expansion talk in the NHL, as well as a new TV deal, some deals in the MLB with the trade deadline coming up here this week, as well as the 2025 Speedway Classic. First game ever played in Tennessee. Our power rankings and a little touch on golf as we have the Wyndham Championship this weekend and the FedEx Cup playoffs starting here next weekend. But let's jump in and introduce my co-hosts this week here, Huff and Ace. Ace, what do you got for us here?
Yeah, I missed last week, so I'm ready to go in here this week, boys. MLB's in full swing. We got the trade deadline just around the corner. Training camp's underway, and my Patriots have been a hot topic around the league. Everybody's looking great. A little Gonzo injury, but I think he'll be fine. But I'm so excited for football season, man. They're trending in the right direction up here in New England. And then we got some news in the other leagues as well, so I'm ready to get rolling this week, boys.
Heck yeah, lots of good stuff. Huff, what do you got for us here leading into this week?
Yeah, football is back. Obviously, it's not what we want with the preseason, but we'll take anything we can get right now. We get the Hall of Fame game tonight when you're listening to this on Thursday the 31st. So we have our first NFL game of the season, Chargers Lions. We'll get into that in a little bit. Like you said, MLB trade deadline. My Pirates making some moves. Some I like, some I don't. So we'll get into that as well. But a lot going on in the sports world. Like Ace said, can't wait for football back. Seeing all these clips of training camp. I just can't wait for NFL season. College football's coming right around the corner. This is a great time of year.
Even with those clips you're seeing out of Pittsburgh, you're still excited for football season to
Yeah,
start?
dude, McAfee was there today. That place was jumping.
All right, I mean, that's someone good you can get behind, but some of those Rodgers clips, man, I don't know. Maybe you need some more of that Ayasaka or whatever you call it.
I don't know. He looks like he's at least like
He looks
happy to be
old.
here. I don't know. He looks happy to be here. I think that's part of him playing good is liking the coaching he's with. Like when he went to the Jets, I think you could kind of tell they gave him like too much power. I don't think the Steelers really did that. They didn't bring in six guys from the Packers. Yeah, they went and got Jalen Ramsey. I don't think there's no connection between Rodgers and Ramsey. I think that's them just trying to get pieces around him. But I don't know.
Seems to have a liking to that guy DK Metcalf like you, so that's one break.
Yeah, he's using him a lot. He's really trying to force that connection and get that going. But I'm excited to have Metcalf. I was literally I'm looking at getting one of those yellow Steeler jerseys, and I was gonna get Metcalf, and I was like, that would be weird if in my closet I had a Russ Steeler jersey and a Metcalf Steeler jersey, and it's like, yeah, these guys were both Steelers.
Yeah, you're like, "Hey, I didn't expect myself to get
Yeah,
either of these, but at least this one's signed a little bit long term." So,
yeah, he's here long term, 5 years.
yeah, maybe your boy Watt too. I don't know. It might be
I
time
already
to.
have a Watt one.
I
That's
know, but
why.
you can never go wrong with that
Yeah.
jersey up in Yinzerville.
Heck yeah, boys. Lots of good stuff getting into this week here. We'll get back into the NFL here in a bit, but let's start out with the NHL. There's been a lot of talks about the expansion in the NFL. They were proposed an idea of expanding to a 34-team league at its pre-draft meeting in June. I'm curious to hear what your guys' top three cities are or where you want to see a
NHL,
team
you
added.
said NFL.
I did?
Yeah, I think you said NFL. Did he say NFL? I might
Yeah,
have
we're
heard that wrong
talking
there.
hockey, so we'll get to
All
some
right,
NFL in a
hockey.
bit. But it's crazy. One thing before we jump into some cities, kind of crazy, huh? Not with the top sports league. I know it's top major four sports in the U.S., but people think of hockey, they think of these lower salaries. You look at some of the salaries between the players, and then you're like, wow, this league just keeps on expanding. So great for the game. Former hockey players, we all are. So great to see it growing. And I think some return cities are on my list personally. But
Breaking news from Passon at the MLB trade deadline: the Phillies have acquired Johan Duran from the Twins for their two top prospects. So they get
no,
their closer that they were looking for. There was rumors they were going to come after Bednar. Looks like they
I
went
think
for
they went a
Duran.
much better direction there. Probably
Yeah,
cost them a bit more, but worth it.
yeah.
We'll see,
But
but let's get into some of these NHL cities, Huff. You can jump off with it. I think mine are gonna be some return cities from teams that have lost their way.
that's more what mine are. I'm looking more teams to come back. Like the
The
one
first
that
one on the top of mind, I feel like we probably have the same one.
Hartford.
Oh, I was gonna say, like, Quebec City
I
and
was gonna say
all that.
Quebec City's in there. I
Yeah,
would say
Quebec City.
Hartford's gonna be a common one. I think
Go back to
Houston.
Atlanta.
They said Houston for some reason is like the one that they'd go to. I don't know. I can't imagine there's big of a hockey market down there. But I mean, the Astros are good. The Texans are good. It's a good sports,
Growing
at least
state too,
environment
I
right
mean.
now. So I think that wouldn't be a bad one. Atlanta Thrashers, maybe bring them back.
Yeah, I heard some rumors of the Atlanta Thrashers coming back. I know that folded back in the day, but places like Atlanta, Houston,
And
growing areas in the
it quote
South.
unquote didn't work, but I'd still like to see the Arizona Coyotes around.
Yeah, I don't think
I
they'll ever
already
get
miss the
another chance.
Coyotes.
They're not getting another crack at a team. I mean, the amount of fumbles they had along the way, I think guaranteed next spot they go to has to be Quebec City.
I really hope they don't do Atlanta because that would be the third NHL team ever in Atlanta.
Atlanta Flames, Atlanta
Yeah,
Thrashers, and then whatever would come in now.
Do you think they're gonna strike out if they go back to the A?
I don't think they will.
I do.
What about a little Kansas City action?
I like
Penguins
Kansas
almo
City. I have
Penguins
Indianapolis
almost
on my
moved to
list as
Kansas
well.
City whenever they sucked, and Lemieux was basically the reason they stayed here.
Yeah, Kansas City, that's another one. They had success in there. They won the World Series in the last decade. You know, Patrick Mahomes has got them
It's all
riled
that
up.
talent, like that. At least when they show that parking lot where it's just like the Chiefs Stadium, the Royal Stadium, and then just like a million parking spaces. I'm like, is there anything around that stadium?
Yeah, not too much. I think they have a soccer team out there that has a pretty decent following. But it would be nice to see them go to a place that doesn't have a hockey team because then they instantly become the best hockey players in the state, and
They
people get
also usually
immediately
look at
amazed.
teams. They usually look at cities that already have basketball too, because they
Yeah, you
don't have
can
to.
intertwine the stadiums a little
Yeah,
bit.
they don't have to fuck with building a
Nowadays,
whole
with the
building.
funding, though, I mean, I know Utah started off in the Jazz, but they're gonna get their own ring soon, right?
Yeah, they are. Well, that stadium. Did you see some of those pictures? Like, you can't even see the goal if you're
Yeah.
in some of the seats, and like
Yeah, you can buy obstructed view seats in an
But
NHL game.
the thing is, you need an owner like that. The way that he introduced that team to the league and what he wants to do for the community, the state, the hockey community as a whole in that area, he's doing it the right way. And I think they're going to grow that program very well. And it also mixes pretty well with that skiing environment, winter environment they have out there.
the Mammoth,
Yeah, that's going to be awesome. I'm
the
excited
newly
for that.
named Mammoth.
Do you
It's
think if
so
they go
weird.
back to some of these return cities, do you think we get the Nordiques back? Or do you think if they go to QC, they're going to go with a
I think
new
you
logo?
have to, don't you think?
Maybe, but they turned into another franchise, didn't they? Or they just fold all
They're the
together?
Avs.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Sometimes when you have a current team that was once a team, it's a little bit tougher to go back to your old ways. Same with the Whalers going into the Hurricanes, but I know people up here in New England would be clamoring for a hockey team. People still rep that Hartford Whalers logo, so iconic. That'd be a cool one too. It didn't even cross my mind, but I think Houston wouldn't be a bad spot.
I thought with where you're from, you would say Hartford.
Yeah, it's just I don't know, Connecticut. You have the two New York teams right there, you know. I mean, you have the Rangers and the Islanders. You have the Devils right there. The Bruins aren't too far, and the Buffalo Sabres as well. So
Flyers even in that picture over there.
yeah, so there's like not too much space between, but there's a lot of people out there too. So,
Yeah, I think those are some of the ones I'd say.
but the
Nothing
way that
really.
the
I
Dallas
can't think of.
the
I was
Dallas
trying to think of like
Stars,
a Western one. I couldn't think of one.
Sacramento.
No,
No.
No, they already have enough teams out there, right? You have the Anaheim Ducks,
Maybe
LA
like
Kings,
like
San Jose
Madison,
Sharks.
Wisconsin's not big enough, but that's definitely like hockey market. Like
I've seen like Milwaukee. That's not West. That's pretty
Milwaukee, that's a
central,
good.
but
That's more what
Yeah,
I'm thinking.
get
Milwaukee.
a team,
that's an
another team up there
hour
in the
from.
Rust Belt.
Yeah, it's an hour and a half from
Get like
Chicago.
a little cross state rivalry going up there with the Wild. I think that could be
Wild
success.
Blackhawks and a new squad up there.
It's
But
like
I think,
hockey country: Wisconsin, Minnesota,
What about like
Michigan.
Albuquerque, New Mexico?
oh, I mean,
I
that'd
feel
be
like
crazy.
that's like the Coyotes 2.0.
Yeah, I think one would have to be
They'll
Canadian,
be
and then
playing at a
one would
men's league
one
rink,
would
not even a college rink.
one thing you gotta think about though, Huff, with that Houston take, that's a good one because every other major sport has multiple teams in the state of Texas. If anybody can do it with the amount of people they have down there,
Spurs are the only one that are by themselves.
what about a little northern Florida? I mean, all they do is win Stanley Cups down there in that state, the Sunshine State. So maybe throw one
Like
up there in
Orlando.
Orlando, yeah, something like
They already
that.
have the Magic.
Jacksonville a little bit too. I mean, something like that'd be crazy. The Carolinas go crazy for hockey. I know we already have the Hurricanes out there, but you had another team in that mix, kind of similar to Atlanta
Some
too.
it's
But
like Virginia, they feel like there's just not enough, but another I feel like pretty big hockey market, but most of them are already Caps fans, but I think they'd take a team. I think I like Milwaukee as my sleeper one that I just thought of.
yeah, it's not a bad pick. I'm saying definitely Quebec City. I think they're overdue
Because
for a
they'd have the
team.
Bucks, the Brewers, and then a hockey team.
Yeah, they have to go with a B as well, right? The
Yeah,
Bison.
for sure.
That'd be awesome. But I think Quebec City's automatic. The way that Winnipeg welcomed their team back with open arms, and you see how much they sell at those stadiums,
I
they'd
guess
be ready to
Wisconsin
go.
technically is the Packers too, so they'd have all four.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Someone needs to get something going.
Heck yeah, boys. Lots of good stuff there. Let's make sure we keep tabs on where the NHL will be expanding here. It's definitely going to be a we're definitely going to be hearing something, I think, within the next year. So we'll definitely keep tabs on that. We have something for our international audience in the NHL. DAZN and the NHL today announced a multi-year partnership, which will make DAZN the exclusive home for NHL TV, which I don't know if you guys remember a couple years ago was like down in the dumps because like the NHL just couldn't take care of it. Like it did not work. None of that
Mhm.
shit. So DAZN will take care of nearly 200 countries beginning next season. And under the partnership will be available as a subscription or an add-on to DAZN subscription, which I believe is available like with other people's cable and things over there. It'll include everything except for the US, Canada, and the Nordics, so like Denmark, Finland, Norway, Sweden. But Viaplay has a huge deal for the next like 10 or 15 years or something to take care of like Finland and Norway and Sweden and
Euros.
stuff.
Yeah, all the
So,
Euros. I mean, think about all the players they have from those,
right.
countries playing
Is
over
this
here right
different
now.
than NHL Network?
Yes.
Okay.
This is like their online viewership thing.
Okay.
You know what? I'll probably have to start tuning into some of the games through, their network and see how rowdy they get.
Right.
Get a nice Elias Pettersson, rowdy crowd going, Sebastian Aho. I mean, look at how good those teams did in the not the World Cup, I mean, the Four Nations face-off,
Whatever. Yeah,
the
Four
Olympics. I
Nations.
mean, they definitely have the following to do it.
Yeah. Definitely a huge international viewership for the NHL, in my opinion. Just hard to capture it properly, send in video all the way across the world. All right, that's going to wrap up everything we have in the NHL. Let's jump over to the NFL here, starting out with our positional rankings, our top 5 linebackers coming into this season. Who wants to get us going on this one?
Huff, I
I'll
feel like
start us out
yeah,
here, but
you
I
go.
feel like I might have left a few people off. I'm not confident in this list. Um, I have a few guys at number 5, as I usually do, especially at this position. I feel like this is not one where we're gonna have like a same top 5. I
You're
think the
throwing a
top.
lion in there, aren't you?
I think that no. I think the top. No, I actually don't. Not even in my honorable mentions. I think the top 3 are pretty written on the wall, but I guess we'll see here. So I have Nick Bolton, Levante David, and Zach Bond. I could not decide between those 3 for my number 5 spot. Dre Greenlaw, number 4, now with the Broncos. Number 3, I went with Bobby Wagner. Came over to the Commanders, huge year.
Mhm.
I wanted to put Frankie Louvu in that honorable mention, but he was good for 2 years with the Panthers. I got to see it another year. Bobby Wagner at 3, Fred Warner 2, and then I hate to say it, Roquan Smith number 1. I wanted the Steelers to get him so bad when the Bears traded him, and I've had to deal with him in the AFC North ever since.
And surprised you have him up at 1. I mean, I can't pass up my guy Fred Warner in the 1 spot. That guy is just insane what he does covering the field laterally. He gets into the pass game too, a little defensive sack coverage too. I've got Fred Warner in the 1 spot. I have Roquan Smith in the 2, best in their respective conferences. I feel like it's pretty easy regardless of where you put them. 1, 2, Fred Warner, Roquan Smith. At number 3, I'm going to put Nick Bolton up there. I know it's a little bit more of a reach, but at his age too, look at all these other guys you have in your list. They're a little bit up there in years, and he's already won the Super Bowls. He's made big plays. Remember what he did against Jalen Hurts in the Super Bowl the first time they matched up. And I think he's only going to keep growing. And on a defense with not a lot of superstars, he really makes his name well known. So I'm going to have him in the 3 spot. I'll respect Bobby Wagner and put him at the 5. In the 4, I'm going to go with my guy Dre Greenlaw, though. Suffered some tough injuries. I think he would have been a Super Bowl champion had he not been injured in that game against the Kansas City Chiefs, playing alongside Fred Warner, too. I mean, that was a dynamic duo. Now he's on his own out there on a great Denver Broncos defense led by Sean Payton. So my list, I got Warner, Roquan Smith, Nick Bolton, Dre Greenlaw, and Bobby Wagner. Surprised you didn't throw Jack Campbell in there, Huff.
So
Another up and coming
we do have the same top 5. If I just didn't say David and Bond.
Yeah, David, I mean, so much respect to him too. Um, I mean, he has the Super Bowl
Another
under his
Super
belt.
Bowl
He's been
champion.
doing it for so long, but the age thing gets in there. I think Nick Bolton still has room to grow too, so I'm gonna keep him in my upper echelon of linebackers. But that 3 to 5, 3 to 6 range, pretty close by. Zach Bond, great one. T.J. Edwards slipped a little bit, going from the Eagles to the Bears, but a lot of great playmakers.
Yeah.
No love for the Devons out there, Devin Lloyd.
Mm, I didn't. I did the other dude I was gonna throw in here, but he's more of like a rusher, is the Byron Young on the Rams.
Yeah, and he had a great year last year too on a
Yeah.
defense that wasn't supposed to be anything. But yeah, I agree with you. More of an outside linebacker, pass rusher, right? These middle
Yeah,
linebackers, such a tough
he's
position to
like
play.
opposite of Jared Verse.
How much do you wish you could still say the name Ryan Shazier had he not suffered that catastrophic
He'd
injury? I
probably
think he would
still
still
be
be
our
here.
he'd probably still be our starting middle linebacker or whatever. I think he was more outside too, but
No, in the middle for sure. He was great. I love Ryan Shazier, great player,
He moved
speed.
around. He was
Yeah,
good.
he could do what Fred Warner does, but, tough to see that, but I think that's a great list. Some big hitters in that list too. You don't see that too much anymore on the defensive side of the ball, but Bobby Wagner, the way he went into that Washington defense and still stuck to it. I thought when he left Seattle, he was done.
He was good with the Rams.
Yeah, I know, and didn't you think, like, when he was at Seattle, like, he was on the end of his career?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, me too. It's the fact that he's still able to stick
He's
around
yeah.
in the
He's
Dan Quinn's
arguably
team
one of the best linebackers. I
of all
mean,
time.
he's not about all time. He's probably top 10 of all time
Yeah,
linebackers.
maybe. There's some old names that really pop
Yeah.
out of the list when you start going down, but from our
Yeah.
generation, he's definitely top 10, top 7, maybe even
Yeah.
top 5.
Our generation, he might be top 3 linebacker.
Kinda coincides
Probably
with what
like
we're going.
Kuechly, Ray
Oh, right.
Lewis,
Brian
Urlacher.
Urlacher. Yeah, yeah, I'm right with you, those ones.
I'd
I saw
maybe
that.
James Harrison was a linebacker. I'd throw him in there.
Yeah, more of an outside, but yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. My boy Teddy Bruschi, can't leave his name out of this
Bruschi.
conversation,
I'd
but,
say, yeah, I'd say maybe that's where he starts coming in the conversation, right around
Patrick
there.
Willis.
Yeah, Patrick Willis was so fucking good.
Those
Navarro
49ers just
Bowman.
know how to find middle linebackers, huh?
Yeah. Navarro Bowman, another
Yeah,
Penn State guy.
crazy. He had the short career, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of them. Luke Kuechly too. I mean, imagine if he
Kuechly was my
he
favorite.
could
I
still be
loved him.
playing. He could still be playing,
Yeah.
but you hate to see guys go down. I saw that conversation today, though. It's if Ray Lewis isn't in the conversation, who's the GOAT linebacker of all time? Everybody's like, Lawrence Taylor. Lawrence Taylor's better than Ray Lewis. I'm like, I don't think so, but I got Urlacher if it's not Ray Lewis.
I would say, I don't know, there's so many old guys like Buckus, Lambert. There's so many old linebackers that were so good. I don't know. It's hard to compare to now, but of our generation, I'd probably go Urlacher after Ray Lewis.
Yeah, me too,
Then
for sure.
maybe I don't know, dude. I think Kuechly was that fucking good.
He was. It's just the longevity of the career. Him and
Yeah.
Warner would have been trading that one
They
spot
both
back.
lost in a Super Bowl.
Yep.
Bears lost and Panthers lost.
Pretty loaded defense that he had too.
Yeah.
With that Panthers group that took Cam Newton to the Super Bowl. Not to discredit Cam, I don't want him coming after me too.
Yeah, I was gonna say it might be good. We might get a little post here on 4th and 1.
Yeah.
Well, heck yeah, guys. Great lists here for the top 5 linebackers coming this season. I had the same 5 guys. Just, I think I had my 3 and 4 different
Who
than
do you have at 1, Warner or Roquan?
Warner.
Yeah, I agree with that. A little
But
bias.
good. What'd you say?
A little bias for you on that one.
A little bit.
Yeah.
But he's good. I mean,
Yeah, he's great.
he's good. Anyways, we got one point here that we got to go over in the NFL. The Tennessee Titans officially waived 2022 18th round pick Treylon Burks. Burks was selected with the pick that the Titans got back from the A.J. Brown trade. Safe to say the Eagles won this trade. Curious to hear what are your guys' thoughts on this.
Yeah, the Eagles get a top 10 receiver in the NFL and A.J. Brown, a Super Bowl, 2 Super Bowl appearances. And the Titans have moved on from their first round pick just 3 years later. So tough look. Titans are going to be the worst team or the second worst team behind the Saints. I don't think there's much hopes coming from Tennessee other than you hope you have your quarterback of the future.
Yeah, I mean, and the connection he's had with Calvin Ridley to start looks really good. That's a guy that slept on in the receiver rankings. He was always supposed to be that guy, and he did put up great stats last year. I think he was
Gambler.
great, yeah, great sleeper pick too, honestly, in fantasy. If you're looking for a wide receiver once you get past that top tier range, Calvin Ridley's going to put up big numbers with Cam Ward, a team that's always going to be playing from behind, in my opinion, too. But so surprised that they moved on from Treylon Burks so quick. They thought he was going to be A.J. Brown, also coming out of Ole Miss, I believe, right?
Is he still? I think he's still injured. He just got hurt again. That's why they cut him.
Yeah, and that's tough to see. I feel like someone's going to scoop him up. That's a good guy to keep around with still a pretty decent ceiling, in my opinion. Never really got a true chance. Never had a true quarterback either, so you don't really know his full potential. But that's an interesting move. This Titans team's in full rebuild. I don't know if you saw the Cam Ward quote today when he asked about his offense. He goes, "Yeah, we're still pretty mid, so
Yeah.
don't have too high of expectations for them."
Yeah,
this
I
year."
don't think anyone in Tennessee even does.
Someone like Treylon Burks, though, imagine the Chiefs somehow scoop him up eventually when he's healthy. It's like a guy you could see.
Or like he's like the 4th receiver on the Eagles.
Yeah, something like that. A great Super Bowl contending team's like, yeah, we'll take a flyer on this guy. Why
Yeah.
not?
Another good spot would be like the Rams behind Adams, Nakua.
Yeah, I mean they have some other young guys that jumped on the scene last year.
Yeah. What's his
alongside
name?
him, but
Tutu.
yeah, they lost a couple people too, though, I believe. In
I
their
think they lost to
secondary
Marcus
too.
Robinson. I could be wrong on that.
Yeah, and he had a pretty decent year stepping in when Cup and Nakua were out too. So it'll be interesting to see. I bet you Burks gets scooped up though. If
Yeah,
it
I
is
think
an
he will.
injury concern, it might be later than sooner, but I think someone will take a flyer.
Yeah, I agree.
Alrighty, boys. Football is officially back. The 2025 NFL preseason begins Thursday night in Canton, Ohio, where the LA Chargers will take on the Detroit Lions in the Hall of Fame game. Let's take a look at the spread and the total for our first preseason game of the year here. Chargers and Lions. Lions are the favorite here, 1.5 points on the spread. Total at 32.5. Lions minus 135 on the money line. Chargers at plus 115. What are you guys taking on this game here tomorrow?
I think
Trey
we're getting
Lance.
Hendon Hooker versus Taylor Heineke. Is that the starters?
I thought Trey Lance was starting. I read that he was gonna go into the 3rd quarter for the Chargers.
Is it Trey Lance? Is that
Ye
confirmed?
I believe so. I was reading yesterday that they want him to
Jesse, can you
start into
fact
the
check
3rd
the
quarter.
starting quarterbacks for this game?
I'm checking.
Thank you. Yeah, I believe it's Hendon Hooker going for the Lions. If it is Trey Lance, I don't know. It's
Yeah,
fucking
he will
preseason.
start Chargers
I probably
preseason
will.
opener.
I can almost guarantee I won't bet on this. If anything, I'll take the under. It usually is like shitty weather for the Hall of Fame game. I hope it rains. The under 32.5 is probably what I'd be looking at.
Huff, you know what's a good one to look at? I saw everybody saying this. Former number 3 overall pick Trey Lance to run one into the end
I
zone?
can't do props in this game.
Oh, really?
PA does not let you do props in preseason. It's stupid.
I mean, I think you're throwing a dart at, an empty board anyways, but I'm taking the Chargers here at plus money. If Harbaugh said he's going into the 3rd quarter, I like the upside that you see with him. I always thought he was gonna be great, but never really
I
got to
would probably
trust him.
say the Chargers too. If Trey Lance is if it is Trey Lance, I would probably say the Chargers.
Yeah, according to head coach Jim Harbaugh announced Trey Lance will take the first snap of the preseason when they take on the Lions.
I'd like
Yeah,
to
and
see Amari and Hampton get some touches in this game. Maybe get in the end zone early.
you think he will
Before
get many, though? I don't think so.
I don't know. It's a Hall of Fame game. It's so early. He
The
could get a
first
drive.
one, yeah, maybe a
Maybe
drive.
not. Maybe one eye Najee Harris makes an appearance on the sidelines. We see how bad that injury looks.
You see
Um,
Jay Herbo with the clipboard?
yeah, yeah. You're gonna see Herbert in street clothes.
That's what Mackey expects him to be, but you and
Yeah,
I know how good he actually is.
yeah. Mackey's Herbert slander is crazy.
Yeah, he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league skill-wise.
Now
Clutchness,
that
I don't
now that
know.
he has a real coach too, we'll actually see. This is the year where like if he's bad this year, we can't defend it anymore.
I'll tell you what, though, Josh Allen used to get a lot of flack for always taking big hits and getting injured. Justin Herbert's a guy that's always playing through some sort of injury during the
Yeah,
season.
yeah.
Puts himself in tough spots, but he's a do-it-all
And the
quarterback.
Chargers are low key a cursed franchise.
Yeah, they are, but I'm excited, and we get some nice uniforms on that game too. The Lions, one of the most hyped up teams. Hooker, coming out of Tennessee, he was pretty good in college too, so it'll be interesting to see. Get some football back. We've been clamoring for it. Here it is.
Alrighty, lots of good stuff out of the NHL. Like you said, we're clamoring to get football back, and we get a little taste of it here tomorrow in Canton, Ohio. Let's jump over to the MLB here with our first point. With more than 85,000 tickets sold to date, the 2025 Speedway Classic, the first American or National League game ever played in Tennessee, will surpass the previous paid attendance record of 84,587 that occurred on September 12, 1954, when Cleveland Stadium hosted the New York Yankees. The game will be held on Saturday, August 2nd, the first pitch at 7:15 p.m., with the Cincinnati Reds taking on the Atlanta Braves. Have you guys seen this? Have you seen what it looked like? Do you have any thoughts?
Yeah, it looks
I've seen
insane.
this. It looks really
In
cool.
Bristol?
I don't know what it's gonna look like from the stands perspective. Like it's already, you know, what I was the pictures I saw. I think some of the seats you're gonna be a mile and a half away. It's gonna be like the Winter Classic at a baseball game or a baseball stadium, but it does look cool. The uniforms are sick that they did for these. The Braves have like the flames on their hats, and they did a whole bunch of like race car, NASCAR themed stuff. This is pretty cool. I don't know how the Reds got involved with this. Like the Braves are a big name. I'd like to see maybe another good, better team than the Reds, but they've been all the pictures. Ellie De La Cruz and Acuna.
Ellie De La Cruz.
They're doing some good advertising for this game.
They needed to get the wheels out there. They're like, we see people go so fast in NASCAR, get Ellie De La Cruz on the base pass. You know he's swiping at least a bag or two. Now I'm excited to see the celly that he breaks out when he swipes one. That's gonna be something. But I'll tell you what, a tough break here.
If I was the Braves, I'd consider me a fan of the Braves, but I'm not gonna buy a jersey. I would buy one of these jerseys. They're sick.
You know what's tough though? We get no Ronald Acuna Jr. for this game, suffering that injury yesterday, so they're without him. I know Marcell is going to start to heat up a little bit. If he's still on the team and doesn't
They're
get
so
traded,
injured, dude. You sent the post about their pitching staff. It's
all
crazy.
5 of their starters on the 60-day IL that they started the season with is actually absurd. Down year for the Braves. We thought they were going to be running that NL East for a while, but their run has come to an end. It seems it's now the Phillies and Mets race with those Marlins not too far behind. But
But
yeah,
theirs is like the injury bug. It's not like they're just not playing good.
yeah, but still, I think they've been hit with that for a while, and that could
Yeah.
affect them long term. Acuna always on the shelf.
Acuna, yeah.
You see, they put the NASCAR series in the MLB The Show game too. That's gonna
Yeah,
be
Yeah, I
that's
did
cool.
see
so
that.
cool.
Yeah, I think this is gonna be one of the coolest ones, and I'll tell you what, I wish I was going to this because the NASCAR tailgating events are usually sick in themselves. Imagine the tailgate for this one.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool. So to
That'd be
put it in perspective, Bristol Motor Speedway can seat 146,000 people on a
Is that
race day.
including the inner pit?
I don't know if Bristol's inner pit is as big as we think it is. Like with, it has all the pit lanes and stuff like that, but obviously it's just racers. But um, like the baseball field fits pretty tight in there, from what I
Re
understand. Like with, again, space for dugouts and pitching and all that junk, right? But I'd say like, you know, 2 of the 4 turns are not sold,
Yeah.
and they
It
put
looked
up.
like there's a whole third of the stadium they can't use, like
Yes,
sell seats for.
and they put up, like, bleachers, it looks like, around, 1st and 3rd all the way.
Whichever corner's cut off.
Yeah, because I think home sits
Those seats are probably 10 grand a seat
whatever. Yeah, who knows? I
for
don't even
bleacher
know.
seats just to be on the.
But, yeah, I think it's interesting, I think it's cool as heck, I think it looks cool.
I
just
wish
when
they
you
would do
thought
the
we were
Field of
running
Dreams
out of
game every year. I think that should be like an MLB thing every year.
kinda like the Winter Classic coming out of the
Yeah.
cornfield.
Yeah.
The jerseys, the throwback jerseys, they broke out for it too, but just when you thought there was nowhere else they could get to that you could play at, now they're breaking out a NASCAR race. I think, they had this question for the MLB players at the All-Star game, "Where would you like to play, if anywhere?" Some people had some crazy answers like, "Oh, I'd like to play on the moon." Some people were saying we could go play, overseas in, like, Italy or something like that, picturesque. Some people put I think Clayton Kershaw was like, "Let's go somewhere higher up than Coors Field, go play on top of a mountain and see how the ball travels there." I don't know how that would be for the pitchers. But, I think they're just gonna keep getting more creative with their opportunities, and this one's gonna be picturesque. I just can imagine the shots that we get from this one.
Yeah. I'm excited for this. This is what, next weekend? Or
Yes.
this weekend?
Huff, it's $81 to get in
It's
to
this
the.
weekend.
Yes, it's this weekend, sorry.
Not too bad of a price.
Not a great seat, but gets you in. Alrighty. Let's keep it moving here through the MLB. The trade deadline is 6 p.m. on Thursday. I think last week I originally said it was 6 p.m. on Wednesday, but uh, the Arizona Diamondbacks unofficially kicked things off last week by trading their first baseman John Schneider to the Mariners. Do you guys want me to just keep going through these, or do you want
Yeah,
to
you
talk?
can
Talk
rip
about
through
this
some
one
of
quick.
these.
That's
Go
I
ahead.
think that's probably one of the biggest moves so far was Naylor going to Seattle. I mean, they already have Cal Raleigh, Julio Rodriguez, and Randy Rosarina leading the way up there for their hitting, and now you add Josh Naylor, another power left-handed bat. He had a great year coming over the Diamondbacks, a team with high
They said they're
expectations.
not out of the picture for Suarez.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Suarez
I
is
heard.
on the move too. That Diamondbacks team has turned into sellers so quick. I thought they were going to start off pretty hot, but their injuries to guys like Burns and the rest of the crew kind of sent them on their way. But Naylor's a great pickup for a Seattle team with playoff aspirations. I mean, they have the pitching staff. They just need another bat.
I'd like to see Suarez go to the Mariners. I like that Mariners team. They're fun to root for.
Right?
They just got Caleb Ferguson from my Pirates today. Not as big of a move, but a good bullpen arm.
Yeah, and their staff is already so loaded. I mean, with the names, I know they have some guys on the shelf, but
Yeah.
still got Castillo
Bringing
and
a good
Blue.
lefty. Never
Yeah.
hurt.
We got a couple more moves here before the trade deadline. The Cincinnati Reds have acquired third baseman Brian Hayes from the Pittsburgh Pirates in advance of the trade deadline. In return, the Pirates will receive lefty reliever Taylor Rogers and shortstop prospect Sammy Stethfura. He's a single A prospect, I think I read.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not the guy to know much about some of these prospects unless they're, nationally known towards the top of the list. I've heard this pitcher is pretty nice. We don't need pitching. But they wanted to move on from Hayes. I don't necessarily love that move. A guy that plays great defense, terrible on offense. We are not the best offensive team. I see why they did it, but when you have a guy that plays third base that well, I just wouldn't move on from him at that age. But especially trade him in the division now. One city over in Cincinnati.
Doesn't sound like a broken record for you guys up there in Pittsburgh. A guy that I wish we weren't really moving on from, but we are once again.
Yeah, dude, it's every year. I go through this every year
At least you can develop pitching out there. The rest of the league supports you guys for that.
just to give him away again.
Yeah, for sure.
Alrighty, last one on the list here. The Detroit Tigers add to their rotation and bring in Chris Paddock from the Twins. Is this what the Tigers need to bolster their rotation for a deep playoff run?
I think they need more. I think they need more. Chris Paddock.
So I have mixed emotions about trading Keller. If we trade Keller, I'd like to see him go to Detroit.
Yeah, they need another arm. They just lost Reese Olson for the year. Jackson Job's out for the year. Yeah, they have the top end of that rotation that looks really good. They're getting Alex Cobb back soon. Chris Paddock's a nice strikeout
Did you
arm. They're
s
right.
did you
But
see what your Red Sox did? Because the Yankees were interested in Keller? The Red Sox said they were interested in him, just trying to drive up the price on the Yankees.
love to see it. That rivalry goes back all the way. Mitch Keller is a great arm. We need to add one too, so I wouldn't mind if we ended up grabbing him. But
I mean, you guys might be interested, but people were saying, like, is this the Red Sox saying this just so the Yankees give up an extra guy or two? Like,
this Red Sox team has been in the mix for everyone, so I don't really know. But you couldn't be far from the truth with the Red Sox the way they do things to
I
the
don't know
Yankees.
what they'll do because they keep winning games. They won again today.
18-1.
Yeah.
But this Tigers team we talked about before, I still think they need to do more. Grab another arm if you can. Grab a veteran bat to add to that lineup. If you're the Tigers, they've been stumbling a bit. You got to capitalize on your chance when you have it. I think this is a big year for them. Go out and get a stud bat. Is it Luis Robert Jr.? Is it Eugenio Suarez? We saw McMahon go to the Yankees. Like, go and get someone because you have such a young team offensively, and you're right there in the AL. I mean, go and capitalize on it while you got Screwball. Do it while you can.
You're sitting in a wild card spot right now.
Stumbling.
Yeah. 59 and 51.
Paddock though,
Mariners are hot on your tail.
his ceiling's pretty high. When he pitches well, he's on. He is a great starter. Good strikeout stuff too, but sometimes he can get battered
But, like, the
around.
teams behind you in that scenario, right now, the American League wild card is the Yankees because the Blue Jays are the first in the AL East. So it's Yankees, Red Sox, Mariners in the
Yeah,
wild card.
and you got to think
Then
that the
it's
Yankees might take a tumble without Judge.
yeah, then it's Texas Rangers, Tampa Bay, Kansas City. I don't see any of those. I think the teams that are in right now in the American League are the teams that make the playoffs. I don't
The
know if you're
Mariners
going
are
to be
sketchy
who's
though.
going to win the American League East, but I think there will be 3 American League East teams in the playoffs.
Yeah, and we predict that before the year started. All,
Yeah.
all of us thought it would be the Orioles, who ended up being sellers now, as we saw them move on from a reliever there. They sent them over in the middle of the game. I don't know if you guys saw that
The
yesterday.
doubleheader, Sir Anthony
Yeah,
Dominguez.
and he ended up pitching for the Blue Jays in the second game of the doubleheader, just had to walk over clubhouses. But I think we're going to see some more fireworks here. The big news of Duran going from the Twins to the Phillies is a big one. They picked up Mick Abel in the transaction too, which is a great ad. But I'm eager to see what other fireworks we have in store. Duran has to be the biggest move so far. The Phillies desperately needed a closer. They moved on from Hoffman in the offseason. They haven't found anyone that can really hold down the ninth inning. And now a proven guy, an all-star, he's ready to go. I love this move by the Phillies here.
Heck yeah, lots of good stuff here in the MLB trade deadline coming up here tomorrow, Thursday at 6 p.m. But away from the deadline, the Cleveland Guardians have had another pitcher go on paid leave amid another gambling investigation, this time for start closing pitcher Emmanuel Clase. Clase is being investigated for the same thing as teammate
Clase.
Clase is being investigated for the same thing as teammate Luis Ortiz, which was heavy betting coming into the first pitch, coming in on his first pitch of the innings to be a ball. What do you guys think of this scenario? I was reading about this, and this is the craziest thing ever. That
It
it was
goes
like
through the clubhouse
microtransactions.
Why are they being suspended with and being paid?
because it's under investigation. They don't know if it's true,
Yeah,
probably,
I
right?
think it's a. They might have to pay, but do like get or pay it back.
Back pay.
Yeah,
Okay, I didn't think about that.
like if they get caught,
I was gonna
then
say, like, if
they
this
owe
is
the
true, like,
organization.
you shouldn't be getting paid for any of this.
Yeah, but they have to prove it. I mean, the Ortiz one's kind of crazy when you look at the
Could they
highlights.
would they be able to take their salary from, like, say he's been doing this for all season? Could they take his whole salary for the season?
I have no idea.
That'd be crazy. I had Clase
Well,
in fantasy. I dropped him yesterday.
I bet you the fine would be right up to the number,
Yeah,
if not more, right?
yeah.
Yeah, just to say,
True,
hey, we're taking your
they would
money
just
and
fine
you're
him his
missed.
salary and be like, "Pay us it back."
Right.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
I had to
it's
drop him in
crazy though.
fantasy yesterday. Ace,
Clase is
I
such a
picked up my boy
stud.
Bednar, hoping he maybe gets moved to a contender.
Yeah, you gotta hope he goes into a closing role too, or if
Yeah.
he's just a
I
guy
have
like,
Munoz on the Mariners, and I have,
oh,
what's his
stud.
name, Suarez on the Padres, so I have, like, relief
I have the
pitching,
two of
but
them too,
I
honestly.
dropped Clase and picked up Bednar, just taking a flyer, he might get traded.
That's so tough with Clase, though, one of the top closers in the league for the Guardians. We gotta see if anybody else ends up coming out, and I'll tell you what, Shohei Ohtani probably wishes he was in that Guardians dugout. You know, he doesn't get caught, but he enjoys it too.
It's a
And
lot easier when you have an interpreter, though.
I don't know if you guys saw their lineup picture was presented by Bet365 the day
Yeah,
after
I
this
did see
all
that.
happened, so,
That's
um,
funny.
timing couldn't have been more impeccable, but craziness going on in that dugout. This Guardians team, not really in the mix as much anymore, so Jose Ramirez, though, someone can actually hold down the fort and do the right thing besides knock someone out in the middle of a game, but, he's the only one that we gotta worry about there with Clase on the shelf now.
Alrighty, let's move into our power rankings here for this week. Coming in at number 5, the Philadelphia Phillies. Number 4, the Milwaukee Brewers. Number 3, the Toronto Blue Jays. Number 2, the New York Mets. And number 1, the Chicago Cubs. We just rounded here about halfway or a little over halfway of the season, I guess. Or well over, I guess, halfway now. But curious to hear what you guys are thinking here is a midseason prediction. Who do you see going to the World Series? Who do you see winning the World Series based on our power rankings here this week? And
National
over
League
the odds
heavy in
we
our
can
rankings, huh?
say again.
National League heavy in our rankings. You got the
Yes.
Cubs up there,
And
the
no
Brewers.
and no Dodgers.
Yeah, and the Dodgers, we know they're one of the best teams in the league. Yeah, they might not be playing like it right now, but they're getting Blake Snell back this week. They were in the mix for Mason Miller too to add another arm to their pen. Tanner Scott's coming back soon too. They're calling up some of these young prospects. Mookie Betts seems
Mets
like he's
Mets
turning the
have
corner.
acquired Ryan Helsley.
Helsley, oh, he was the best closer in the league last year. Led the league in saves. That's actually crazy. Crazy ad when they have Diaz already out there. I mean, they're really going for it this year, huh? Those New York Mets. That's why they're up there in our power rankings too. I personally think the Philadelphia Phillies are a better team. I think they're going to keep climbing these standings. I'm eager
Yeah,
to see.
why haven't the Dodgers done anything? Been a quiet deadline for the Dodgers.
They're in on Mason Miller. That's what I've heard. But they have so many pieces already. Like, what else can you add? You want to add another arm? People are talking about adding more depth.
They just always do it because they can.
Yeah, and I think they might get Mason Miller. That might be the big move. The flamethrower, the youngin from Oakland or at the Athletics nowadays.
The odds to win the World Series are Dodgers plus 230, Tigers plus 850 is the
Not
drop
worth
off
it.
to
Yeah,
second.
not worth it.
Phillies plus 850, Mets plus 900, Yankees plus 1,000, Astros plus 1,200, Blue Jays plus 1,200, Cubs and Brewers plus 1,400.
I think the Cubs and the
I think
Cubs
there's good
and
value on the Phillies.
Cubs and Phillies are my 2 teams. I think the Phillies are gonna make a big push for it this year. They just
Yeah.
added that closer, like we said, and their pitching staff is lights out.
I was
Zach
gonna
Wheeler,
I almost
he's
bet
the
the Phillies
best
the other
pitcher in
day. I
the league.
randomly saw them in 900 and I was gonna bet it.
Sanchez,
I just wanted a
Luzardo.
future to root for in the MLB. Like once the NFL starts, I don't really bet baseball a ton, so it's just fun to have a future to root for.
And think about that staff though, Wheeler, Sanchez, Suarez, Luzardo, Nola. I mean,
Walker's not even bad.
yeah, they have the bats to back it up too, and I think they're gonna add another outfield bat to help out that lineup. They didn't do too much in the offseason. They added the closer to shut the door.
That's where
And
they think Bednar is gonna go.
yeah, but now that they got Duran, I don't think they're gonna make another bullpen
Yeah,
option.
yeah.
But those Mets.
They can make him the setup guy. I don't know what their bullpen looks like, but
What do you think of these Milwaukee Brewers? Are they legit? One of the hottest teams in baseball. They've been facing off with the Cubs. They took them out in the first game, but then Shota shut the door today, and they beat them today.
NL Central representing in the power rankings this week with the Brewers and the Cubs. But yeah,
Two horse
I think
race.
the Brewers are right there. I think they just beat the Dodgers or swept the Dodgers a few weeks ago. I know we said the Dodgers aren't playing that great, but they've shown they can beat the best teams. I think the Brewers are for real contenders.
The Miz, I mean, he came out and beat Matthew Boyd in
20
his
games
start.
over 500, and they're only a game ahead of the Cubs.
You know who's actually jumped on the scene and turned into a very valuable starting option for them? He was on your Pirates, he was on my Red Sox last year. Quinn Priester turning into a great starting pitcher out there too. I still don't think
Former
they're
number one
legit.
overall pick.
A team that shouldn't be slept on is the San Diego Padres. I think they're still in the mix too. That's a team that I would like to see kind of make some waves, make another big move here, maybe add another starting pitcher. Meanwhile, the St. Louis Cardinals always hanging around too. I know they don't have the best record, but they're right there in the mix as well. The AL, though, the door is wide open. A team that we thought was gonna take a step back, the Houston Astros, that team just wins. What a great franchise they have. Yeah, they had the cheating scandals, but they're always in the mix. You thought they were in the wrong when they moved Kyle Tucker or Alex Bregman or Carlos Correa, Javier Baez, or whoever I don't think they have Baez actually, but whoever it is they moved on from. They're just able to replace them. They have young stars that just step up and they're right there. And Jose Altuve is still doing his thing, 4 for 4 today with a home run too. So that team you can never count out. And then, like I said, the Red Sox and Yankees, let's see if both of them can hang on to a wild card spot.
Yeah,
Are the Blue
I like
Jays
it.
legit, Huff? What do you think?
I think they kind of are, dude. I mean, they've done it over the past what month and a half.
They have the superstars to do it. Gausman's a great pitcher. They have Vladdy, Boba
Bichette,
stepping up. They have some young bats stepping up around their stars.
Springer's playing his best baseball of his past 3 years.
Exactly, and he was so far down, like, everybody thought he was, like, kind of on the end of his career, and now he's
I think they're so good at home. I think they're
Alejandro
for
Kirk
real
having a
contenders.
year. Alejandro Kirk having a year, guys like Barger and, Clement stepping up too and hitting the
Who's the other
baseball
dude?
well.
They got from. I'm trying to think of. Trying to name dudes on their team now. I'm thinking they got a dude from Cleveland a couple years ago that was pretty good.
They still
I'm
got
blanking on it.
they still got a pretty decent pitching staff
They
too.
won again today.
Yeah, you know who they're gonna get back soon too is, Alek Manoah. He's gonna be a nice add to their rotation. I think that's another team that could add another starter at the deadline too, but,
Is
they
that
added
who was the dude from the? Is that the dude from WVU?
Alek Manoah, yeah, the guy that's
Yeah,
always on the shelf.
that he was so good and then he was so bad.
Yeah, and he's just dealt with injuries the last few years. When he came back last year, he looked good, and then he got hurt again. But he's having a good rehab stint right now. We should see him here in a couple weeks make his season debut. But that team has definitely got the pieces to do it, and it's nice that they kept their own Vladdy and Bo because they were talking about moving on from for the year started. So it'll be interesting. And those Rays, I think they're going to turn into sellers. They were super hot before the deadline, kind of stumbled here. Now they're talking about moving Yandy Diaz and a couple other names like Zach Littell.
Miles Shaw is the dude I was thinking of. He's batting like 250. Like their whole lineup's playing good.
Yeah, the Blue Jays team has really come on. Like you said, playing at home too, playing over the border. They've been holding their own. So it's gonna be hot down the way, but I think we're gonna see fireworks the next couple days in the trade deadline.
Alrighty, boys, lots of good stuff as the MLB continues to head towards the playoffs here. We'll definitely continue to touch on that as we gear towards the NFL season. Let's jump into the golf world here. Little point here. The 2025 FedEx Cup playoffs will begin with the FedEx St. Jude Championship from August 7th to 10th at TBC Southwind in Memphis, Tennessee. The second playoff event, the BMW Championship, is scheduled for August 14th to 17th at Caves Valley Golf Club in Owings Mills, Maryland. And the playoff concludes with the Tour Championship from August 21st to 24th at East Lake Golf Club in Atlanta, Georgia. So make sure to keep tabs on us for all our picks and such on that. But this weekend, the PGA Tour will play the Wyndham Championship in Greensboro, North Carolina at Sedgefield Country Club. A lot of big names not playing again this weekend, but let's take a look at the favorites to win this weekend. Leading the list is Matt Fitzpatrick at a plus 2,000, Ben Griffin behind him at plus 2,500, Aaron Raw at plus 2,800, Keegan Bradley at 2,800 as well. Matsuyama at plus 3,000 with Robert McIntyre also plus 3,000. Anybody else doing it? Oh, Spieth at plus 3,500 with Woo Kim. Huff, what are you thinking on this one?
Yeah, there's not a great tournament coming up this weekend. Should be okay. We have some decent names. No Scotty, no Rory. I like Ben Griffin at plus 2,500, and the other one I like is JT Poston at plus 5,000. Little value play there. I like both of those two. Anything I take official, I'll get posted out on our Twitter. Didn't end up going with anything last week, and I think it was the 3M live bet Patia on Sunday, and he just came out and shot 3 over through the first 5 holes, and it was out of it from the beginning. Kitayama comes home with the win there, but yeah, anything I end up going with, I'll get posted out on Twitter and let you guys know. But I think that's gonna do it. We got anything else?
Huff, is any of those Happy Gilmore 2 appearances gonna make a little run here?
I don't. Did they get the happy bump? I mean, Scotty, you could say. Probably technically already did from when they filmed it to now with the 2 majors. I'd say I'm excited to get some good golf back in the next couple weeks. We'll see with these FedEx Cup playoffs.
Heck yeah, lots of good stuff in the golf world, lots of stuff all around the sports world. Make sure you stay tuned for our positional rankings here next week with cornerbacks here next week. Anything else to add before we get out of here, guys?
No, I think that's it. Thanks for listening. We'll see you guys next week. HitTheBooks.pod, HitTheBooks Sports on TikTok and YouTube. Give us a follow, subscribe. We appreciate it, and thanks for listening.
Keep watching those Patriots highlights because you know they have great ones coming throughout the whole offseason.
These are the only ones you're gonna get.
Yeah, we'll see you week 3.